All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about a world record being broken, okay? No one currently in Destiny 2, until just recently, was able to solo the Oryx encounter. It has been two-man many times, and it was soloed inside Destiny 1, but in Destiny 2, no one has been able to do that is until we found out just recently that someone recently successfully soloed Oryx. We don't have any video proof of this, but what we do have is proof of it inside Raid Report. If you look up this Guardian's Raid Report, and I'm not here to name and shame them, that's against Bungie's terms of service, so I'm not going to name them in this video, but if you look up their Raid Report, you'll notice that it says King's Fall, and it actually says defeated Oryx alone. So they actually successfully soloed Oryx. And you might be thinking to yourself, wow, that's crazy. We should watch the video of that. That person must be an absolute god. They must be an absolute legend inside Destiny 2. But the reality is there is no video footage of this, and this person is reportedly known to be a net limiter, which basically means that they use network manipulation in order to beat the encounter solo. Now, I'm not directly accusing them of this, and that's why I'm keeping them unnamed as well, because we don't have any direct evidence or proof of this, but it would seem pretty obvious that they use net limiting in order to do this. And the reason why is because if you haven't seen Esoteric's video of proof of concept, in the video shown behind me here, basically it's next to impossible to solo Oryx with the current amount of damage that we can do with the way the mechanics work in the encounter. There's just simply not enough damage. You can see the health bar there. That's after 4 phases of Esoteric doing as much damage to Oryx as he possibly could. That's how much damage Esoteric, which we all know to be a solo legend, that's how much damage Esoteric could do to Oryx solo. And now you're telling me that this person actually successfully soloed it? One thing that we do know for sure, as I've shown in a previous clip from the day 1 rating, is that net limiting completely bypasses all the mechanics of the encounter. I'll play that clip again for you here. As you can see here in this clip, this is what net limiting does to the Oryx encounter. You can pay close attention to the health bar there. The health bar is going to completely go down really rapidly because right now they're net limiting. You can see countless numbers going up, and then it goes just into immunes, and then the entire encounter goes immediately to final stand. And this was during contest mode, so obviously that amount of damage is possible now with the fire team of 6 that's coordinated, but clearly, during contests, it's going to be an entirely different story. So simply put, net limiting is basically like cheating for the encounter. It goes against Bungie's terms of service to use network manipulation. And so even though I know some people like to not categorize it as cheating, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's cheating. You may not have actually downloaded hard cheats into your game, but this is cheating. And I would argue that even though technically net limiting doesn't have any direct adverse effects on the game, especially inside PvE and stuff like that, it does have some adverse effects on the community as a whole, because a lot of people start to realize, hey, I don't really actually have to sit in this raid and spend 6 hours suffering. I can just net limit and get this loot instantly, and that's where you find a few problems with that, in my opinion. Also, along with this person actually defeated Oryx Challenge within 24 hours of launch. They were the world's number 13th team to successfully beat King's Fall. So again, this is all just speculation, but if this person did actually use a net limiter to successfully solo Oryx, what's to say that they didn't use a net limiter to get world's 13th finish inside the King's Fall raid race? Prior to our knowledge of this solo completion of Oryx, we would have had no real clue about them potentially cheating to get world's 13th in the King's Fall raid race. We wouldn't have had any video footage. There's nothing on YouTube or anything like that. So this actually brings into question a big issue that I've talked about before, which is that net limiting is actually ruining the integrity of the world's first raid races, and it's just ruining the integrity of the game as a whole. Because clearly, instead of playing the game legitimately and earning your loot fairly as everyone else does, you can just simply load into the checkpoint, throw on your net limiter, and then get that touch of mouse to drop for you solo these days. So that's a big problem. Let me know your thoughts about this down in the comment section below. Will Bungie address this? Will Bungie respond to this soon? Or will they let this issue fester as they did with cheaters inside Trials of Osiris for the better half of almost 2 years? Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they can get to the bottom of this. Again, that's a wrap on this one. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. Smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Later.